I have a vision of heaven, Ben. You ready?
I want to hear it.
Going to heaven.
I want to hear it.
It's endless. It's all one server. No subscription-based Warcraft. Just for forever. Weekly updates.
Hunters are the most overpowered class.
No server maintenance. Everyone jumps to 90. I would love to just play Warcraft all the time. Have that be all I do ever. But I don't, and I didn't. I stopped right before Pandaria came out, but played every damn bit of World of Warcraft I could up until that point. So I love that game. It's such a great game. Congrats to it for being around for 10 years.
Absolutely.
And you have been trudging through Worlds of Draenor. I think it said Draenor at the event. I say
I could be
Draenor,
wrong.
but Blizzard came out on stage at the cinematic reveal event and said Draenor multiple times.
Draenor.
But they put that E
Now
in
I'm
there,
now
so
I'm self-conscious. I don't
want to say
I don't want to
Draenor.
say it at all.
Going down the Draenor, but lots of fun stuff. The only negative thing that I'll start off with is kind of a weird. It's kind of weird to release anything after Cataclysm. When the Cataclysms came out, that again is why I stopped, which was like, wow, what a humongous thing that just happened to this world. To me, that's kind of like the ultimate finish.
Right.
So kind of weird to Pandas, and then now we're going back in time, and hard to see kind of really a through line with all the content that they're releasing. But I mean, damn, it's more World of Warcraft and lots of stuff going on in the updates. So let's get through it.
Yeah. So there's a disclaimer that I want to say beforehand. I haven't been able to play every single part. I haven't dabbled in PvP at all. I haven't been able to like fully upgrade my garrison. I haven't been able, like, I'm level 91. I'm still going through Frostfire Ridge as a Horde member. So this is just like sort of how I feel about it right now. And I feel really good about it. The sort of the narrative that you see with World of Warcraft is back in the day it used to be like, wow, they got another 1 million subscribers. There's a new expansion coming out. I can't believe what they're adding. And I feel like the conversation is turned, as it inevitably does, like, oh man, they lost 300,000 subscribers. World of Warcraft is still around? How many people are playing it? Like, oh man, they did Pandas. Like, they've completely run out of ideas. And I think I sort of bought into that mentality too. Like, okay, I played World of Warcraft from 2007 to 2010, and I had a great time, and I never need to go back to it. I'm reviewing so many things, as you know. I have a lot of great, exciting games that I get to play. All I want to play is World of Warcraft. In 2 weekends, I made a new character and got a fresh character up to 45 just because I'm that excited about Warlords of Draenor.
Several of my friends, whenever I jump on Hearthstone, I'm like, get out of here. You're playing World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Look at that. So I'm definitely noticing it have a resurgence. I don't know if it'll have the numbers of all the stuff that everybody's talking about. So of all the new systems that they're adding, there's actually a lot to talk about, probably more than we should really get into now because we're going to be doing more preview coverage and obviously the big review when they let us. What's your favorite thing? What do you think out of the new stuff that they've added?
It's weird because I think my favorite thing is something that doesn't sound very exciting, but is really cool once you get into it. My favorite thing is the quests and the storylines that I've experienced so far and how they've been structured and how much more interesting they are than a lot of the other quests that I've done in World of Warcraft. That's my absolute favorite thing. I think a lot of people are expecting it to be garrisons, and I went through like this emotional roller coasters with garrisons where at first I was really disappointed and then I got more into it and I saw what they were actually trying to do and I was like, okay, this is cool for what it is, but it's definitely not what they initially pitched.
Do you think they pulled back on it, or do you think they pitched it too high?
I think they turned it into something else. I think because everybody forever has wanted player housing in World of Warcraft, and initially you think about that and you're like, yeah, that'd be awesome, and I want it too. I want to have my own little horde hut where I have like heads of all the raid bosses,
which I did have when I played Final Fantasy XI, which came out before World of Warcraft. So yeah, it was a weird thing. And I remember hearing one of the big arguments is that they didn't want, which is kind of where you see like the main hubs in each expansion pack kind of rotate around the world, where they're like, this is where we want players to be. That seems to be a big issue for the team at Blizzard with WoW, where they're like, it's like herding cats. They kind of want all the players to go here because they don't want you to go to a new area and then have no one be there. So it's like, if we make guild halls, if we make player housing, then everyone's just going to vanish from the map and we're going to have ourselves an empty game because why would you go anywhere else?
Right.
I disagree with that, but I can see where they're coming from.
I disagree with it too. I don't remember who said it, but one of them said, like, we don't want you to play The Sims in World of Warcraft. That's not what World of Warcraft is about. And I was thinking about it, and it's like, I really want to play The Sims in World of Warcraft. That sounds like super fun to me. But what garrisons are is they're really just a convenience, and they're just a series of decisions. So you get your garrison, and eventually you can start putting buildings on it. And as you level your garrison up, you can put more buildings on it. But you can't have everything, and that's where it gets interesting. Is you're sort of in a way building your own little Ogremar. So if you're somebody that's a blacksmith person, you can put a blacksmith guy right there. So if you need a forge to level up your blacksmithing skill, or you need supplies, you can just have it in your garrison. And the other nice thing is you have your own hearthstone for the garrison. So instead of having to, like, now it's like, okay, I constantly need to sell things. My bags are always getting full. I can either go to my garrison and sell stuff, or I can go to Ogremar. And it's nice having that garrison option, because I feel like what they're doing, I realize I'm a little bit all over the place. I feel like what they're doing at the Warlords of Draenor is they're trying to make you feel like you're actually exploring a new space. And garrisons is the way that they're doing it, so you're not constantly porting back to take care of your items or whatever it is you're doing. They're also not having flying mounts. No flying mounts. Not even when you hit 100 do you get a license to have flying mounts.
In the new areas.
In the new areas. Yeah. In Outland, in this version of Outland. And I really, really like that. I think, if you listen to Mark Rosado, who used to work for this site, he sounds like an old man when he talks about World of Warcraft. He's like, vanilla was the best. They ruined it with all this casual garbage and flying mounts. And in this instance, I actually think he's right, because I feel like I'm not just like flying to a place, grabbing a bunch of things or killing a bunch of things and then flying back. I'm not just like checking things off a list. The way that they've structured the quest is many of them are series. Like, I'm doing this part of the story, and then I'm walking to the next part of the story, and as I'm walking, more story is happening, and it's like there's more of a build-up with the quest. There's more of a through line, and I think that's super, super, super cool.
It's interesting to hear you say that, because they said that when I went to the preview event, when I went to the trailer premiere, that when they had interviews, they're like, we really want to get it back, not only to the roots of World of Warcraft, but the roots of Warcraft.
Right.
With the story elements, obviously, you're revisiting these characters that'll seem totally new to a lot of people that played WoW and didn't play Warcraft 1 and 2 and 3. So experiencing that for the first time, like you said, taking the flying away, getting back to the quest structure and kind of, wiping the slate clean with that. So, and it being the 10th anniversary, it's kind of the perfect time to do a big celebration of what Warcraft is all about.
Yeah, Michael Huber said there's a lot of nostalgia with this expansion, and I feel like that's true, because it feels like they're re-examining what World of Warcraft is. But I think my favorite part of that is almost everything I'm doing with the quest so far, again, I'm only level 91, is there's a certain level of gravitas that's going on that you don't usually get with MMO quests, that you forgive because it's an MMO and that's what you expect. Like, I'm not just going and killing boars and ripping off their tusks and giving it to somebody and then they give me some silver. It's you are constantly engaged in war. Like, there are these two. There's the Iron Horde, and you're trying to take them on. Like, you're storming their keeps. And there's one point where you need to cross this bridge, and there are tons of Iron Horde on the bridge, and Thrall comes up, and he's a shaman now, and he summons a tornado, and they all sort of fly around. So there's this level of drama and importance to what you're doing that wasn't there in a lot of Mists of Pandaria for me.
Kind of helps if you're Horde, though, right?
Sure.
Horde might get into this expansion a little bit more than Alliance.
Right, yeah. But
a little more relevant.
At the same time, they've sort of been building up as the Alliance, like, we hate the Horde, we want to kill them. So I can see, as an Alliance player, me killing these Iron Horde orcs being pretty meaningful too. I haven't checked out the Alliance quest, but I'm going to do that at some point.
So you talk about epicness. I'll tell you what would be epic.
Yeah,
Ben,
tell me.
Would be if I played this thing.
Please do.
which I can do at my desk now. I got a hot PC on my desk where I was more Mac focused, which also you can play Warcraft on, but. If it opens the floodgates, that'll be bad news, but might be something that I'll do. So
definitely,
the conversation will continue.
We're going to have to review Warlords of Draenor.
Yeah.
And to me, I think it's really uninteresting if you just have one guy and he's like, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think MMOs are a very social experience. So if we can get Huber, if we can get you, and we can talk about it, that's way more interesting.
All right, we're going to war.
Let's do it.